Hello and welcome back to the White Pube podcast. I am ZM and it is Sunday the 5th of October 2025. If you don't know, the White Pube is a website I run with my friend and collaborator Gabrielle de la Puente. Gab is based in Liverpool, I am in London, and between these two cities we are in a long distance critical relationship. We take turns to write a text every Sunday, normally a review or an essay about some art, an exhibition, a book, a film, a piece of music, something, culture at large, whatever takes our fancy on any given Sunday. We put the text version of those texts on the website, thewhitepube.com or .co.uk. This podcast feed is where we publish the audio versions of those texts, so you can listen to us, the writers, read our own words in our own voices, if that is the format of your preference. And then a little news update, I don't know, what do they call it? Notice boards. This is the notice board segment. If you don't know, if you just come to this episode brand new with no context, we are writers and we wrote a book called Poor Artists. It came out last year. If you're listening to this on Sunday, it actually came out a year and 2 days ago exactly. So it has just been Poor Artists' first birthday. Woo, 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 woo. And it is out in paperback now, I believe. I've seen the paperbacks out and about in shops, so it should be out. So if you have been waiting for the paperback because you, like me, hate hardbacks, then it is currently available. Wait no longer. It is available for purchase. FYI. Okay, I'm going to read the text now, which is a review of Nicola Singh's Sincere Seeker at Cubitt. And then I'll read the text, but stick around to the end and I'll give you the emoji to comment on the Instagram post just the Instagram post actually. That's the only social media we use now. If you want to stick around, then it's a little fun game we play so we know that we're not throwing these words into the void. Okay. We perpetually grow habituated to everything around us. That is how Danielle Dutton describes the argument in Victor Shklovsky's essay Art as a Device. In her own essay, A Picture Held Us Captive. After being perceived a couple of times, an object acquires the status of being recognised. In recognition, the object disappears, or we know it's there so we just stop looking at it and so it disappears to us. It exits the realm of our perception. Dutton and Shklovsky use the word habituation. Habituation devours work, clothes, furniture, one's wife, and the fear of war. It is a kind of obliteration. The objects that exit the realm of our perception then cease to really exist. Dutton says that Shklovsky argues that the job of art is to make the world strange so that we might see it again. Art does this through a process, according to Dutton, Shklovsky calls defamiliarization or estrangement. There is an interesting fundamental belief underneath habituation and estrangement. We are central to the world and its existence. Our perception makes an object real and unmakes an object's reality too. It frames perception as a kind of power, a benefaction we bestow on unsuspecting passive objects. It sets out two possibilities for the object, the familiar and the strange. It sets out a passageway between the two states, strange to familiar. This is habituation. Familiar to strange. This is estrangement. Yes, there is the familiar, the known, the understood, the habitually recognisable, the therefore invisible, and the strange, the unknown, the ununderstood, the therefore visible. Maybe to see something, to really perceive it, is to not understand it. Maybe seeing is the encountering of secrets. Maybe this is what Glissant called opacity. Maybe the familiar is invisible and the strange is a secret, so the world is actually made up of things that are invisible, things that are secret, and things we have not yet encountered, and therefore not yet categorised as invisible or secret. Ah! 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 Many other critics are many other things, but if I'm a critic, my critical self is critic as idiot. When some people write, they seem to make complicated concepts simpler and clearer. When I write, I seem to turn simple things into great tangles. I can't seem to say, as we get used to the things around us, they disappear. I have to say, Danielle Dutton said Victor Shklovsky said XXX, and I think XXX, because the journey feels like half the point. Simpler and clearer makes the story disappear. As I write, concepts inflate around me. They get stranger. I make choices with my subjects. I take something familiar, I write about it as if it is unfamiliar, as if I am encountering it for the first time, as if I am a baby or an alien and it is brand new. There are interesting fundamental beliefs underneath these choices. Unfamiliarity and strangeness is a position you can take up or a register you can slip into. This state of strangeness makes it possible to see things again, sure. It also opens up conceptual synapses. In strangeness, it's possible to make connections and meanings that would not have come about in a state of familiarity. So, I prepare my subjects for connection and meaning by making them strange. I do not make things clearer. I back myself into a corner where I don't know what I'm referring to anymore. When I was a child, I would repeat words over and over and over to myself until they became strange. Through repetition, the wordiness of the word floated away. The word stopped being a word. The word became a sound. We can try it now, together, out loud. Say orange quickly 10 times. Orange, 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 orange. Even reading it on a page, the word ceases to be legible as a word at first glance. It becomes a string of letters, sounds, shapes you are making with your mouth. You start to think about how strange it is that you're doing those shapes, those sounds with your mouth. You start to ask why. You can make any shape, any sound. Is this the shape sound that feels best in your mouth? How does this shape sound feel? Say orange again, but this time say it slow. Stretch it out. Make it all on purpose. Pay attention to the shape and the sound. Orange. As a shape, a sound, it ceases to be a word, ceases to have meaning. It no longer refers to colour and fruit. It now refers to shape and sound. It has been recalibrated, estranged. You can apply this focus to anything, not just words or objects. You can do it to whole entire people. Sometimes I look at my boyfriend and think, you are a man and you are over there and you are a different person to me and you have a great big heart pumping blood around your body under your skin and a brain in your head that thinks thoughts, and I can kiss your skin and your head, but I am shut out of the internal workings that pumps blood around your body and sends out thoughts, and he becomes strange to me. The newspapers and politicians do this with whole entire groups of people who arrive in our country. Just by using certain words, they estrange them from us. They make us feel as if these are not people, exactly as we are people. They are strange and different, and in this strangeness it is possible to make connections and meanings that wouldn't have come about in a state of familiarity. It can blow all sorts of ways, this recalibration, this estrangement. Which is all very interesting, but the point is, estrangement is a quality that can be administered to objects, environments, words, people, things. Repetition is a way of administering estrangement. Nicola Singh's Sincere Seeker at Cubitt is made up of sculpture and sound. The sculpture is, the far wall is modestly covered in rippling cream and baby blush pink fabric. There is an abundance of fabric, a birthday cake expanse. A catwalk stage peeks out at an angle with 3 Jesmonite casts of cuddly monkeys. The monkeys are plaster pale, solid and heavy, or hollow like piggy banks. I can't decide. Sat cute and stuck. Hands over their ears, eyes, mouth. The sound is, the artist improvises vocal mark making. The essay on the handout, Empty Vessel by Gautam Pemaraju, lists the components. A durational performance of the Sanskrit mantra Soham, a nominal sentence that translates to that is I, or I am that. Inhale So, exhale Ham. Esoteric chanting of the Sanskrit alphabet, a way of locating energies in relation to the subtle body, the quasi-material astral body, auras, chakras, channels, energetic breath. Isolated, subtle strains of Natural Mystic, a song by Bob Marley and the Wailers. These 3 tracks are layered up into a shimmering block of sound. I sit opposite the scene on the gallery's concrete floor in a puddle of dried jasmine flowers. My back is straight, against the wall. I am breathing deeply into my stomach. I am listening to this rippling wave. I am looking at the monkeys in their birthday cake expanse, repeating sound over and over and over, energetic location or estrangement. I am looking so intently with such focus that something opens up. A conceptual synapse. Some new meaning between sound and sculpture. Depth disappears. This is all I can see. They get tangled. I no longer know what I am looking at. Plaster pale, monkey gods. The sound spinning. I am lost in it, swimming through. It blows all sorts of ways, nonsensical and recalibrated, brand new, and now I can really see it. And that's the text. Thank you for listening. It is short and sweet this week, just over 1,000 words, so very tight, very cute. If you have made it this far, all the way to the end, please can I have, for my emoji this week, please can I have one of the monkeys, like, you know, the one, like the one covering its eyes or its mouth or its ears, either that or the one sitting looking at you facing the side. One of those 3 or 4 monkeys, I don't know, whatever suits you, surprise me, whichever one you use most actually, or that just you like the look of. Yeah, that's the emojis, that was the text, and I hope you have a nice rest of your Sunday. I won't see you next week, and neither will Gab, because it is the White Pube's 10th birthday next Sunday on the 12th of October. Air horns, wah 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 wah. Yeah, 10, 10 years old, an entire decade. That is nearly a third of my life. Isn't that bonkers? Fucking crazy. What a way to spend your time. I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, because it's our 10th birthday next Sunday, we have got a special episode for you. So you won't see either of us in text format. There'll be something else. But okay, that's all. Bye. Have a nice week.